Welcome back, everybody. It's kind of sticking with last week's theme of the lack of character and beauty and art and, color in America that I did last week. I wanted to really get into this influx of AI flyers that we are seeing all over our feeds. Okay. Now, a couple different points that I want to make. I do believe AI is a tool, and I think it should be used to help you fine tune, formulate your thoughts, right? Like, it's not supposed to be the end all be all. It's like, okay, here's a picture of my front door. I want to redo it. Like, give me some ideas, right? And then you go utilize the idea, right? Or if, you're trying to put your thoughts together and you just like, how can I fine tune this or whatever? Again, it's a tool to help achieve your goal. It should not be the goal. Like, using AI should not be the goal. Like, oh, I just want all of my stuff to be AI generated. I do not think that should be the goal. I do think that this type of behavior and pattern is how they are justifying the need for these giant AI centers. The more people use stupid little features like this to do every little part of their job, they're going to reinforce the idea that these data centers are necessary. Also, we see how AI is eliminating so many jobs because AI can do everything. And there's an aspect of using these AI flyers and using AI for marketing and advertising and stuff that is also eliminating a job. Okay, so let's get into it and what I see as the problem and where I see this hypocrisy and this weird bandwagon of AI flyers. So scrolling through, well, actually, let me say, I do not have a college degree. I never went to college. When I started working at the Hub, one of the aspects of my job was flyers and pushing things out and promoting our events and taking, informational flyers to things like school community events so that people knew what we were doing. And I remember when I first started doing flyers in Canva, which when I posted that reel, I hashtagged make Canva great again, because again, that takes my own thought. I can use the tools in Canva, but I get to put my own design, my own artistic spiel, my own branding into it, right? So I would do a flyer for the Hub, an event with the Hub, and I would always want to do a really heavy background, like lots of, action or whatever, and put like all the information on it, like every little thought about this event that was coming up or whatever. And then, the date, the time, the price, whatever it was. And my boss would always send it back and be like, no, clean it up. Focus on these things. Like the point, like the main things that people are looking at these flyers for is date, time, price, right? So really highlight those. You don't need to describe the whole event. Like, keep it simple, make the background lighter, easier to read through. Most people we recognize have like a 7-second attention span, and it's getting worse, right? Like it's like a 2-second attention span now. So when you make flyers that are heavy with information, people get bored. They move on. They don't care. They don't want to read it, right? So if you send that flyer out to 10 people, there's maybe one that's going to even pay attention to it, right? So I would have to, redo my flyers. I would have to clean them up. I had to, really, really fine tune that. And it took a couple tries and I got better at it. And I always tried to make sure it was Hub colors, Hub brand, our logo was in there. If it was like a pickleball event, I would do, like pickleball colors, right? I would try to include things like that. And now we're just seeing these basic color schemes. Everything looks the same. All of the titles are very similar. It's like, one big word, a couple little words, like it's all flashy and like highlighted. And then there's so many little things like with the graphics and the borders and the clip art or whatever that you're seeing on it, that these flyers that are maybe promoting like a basic event are so convoluted that they're hard to read. Who's reading them? I don't know. And so I went through my feed to see how many I could find. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I found 18 just scrolling screenshot. And again, not that they're all the same colors, but they're all the same scheme, right? All kind of have the same border layout, all have the same little flashy little clip art. They all have very busy backgrounds. It's a lot. Watching that reel that I shared, one of the guys mentioned that, we used to have graphic designers for this stuff. We used to have marketing, and we used to have advertising people, right? That would take into account how the human brain works, how we read things, our attention span, what is the most effective color or whatever. And by, again, utilizing these AI flyers, you are pretty much giving permission for these giant AI data centers to come in and get rid of these jobs, right? Like graphic designers and things like that. People in art, right? That could be your social media people creating things or whatever. So if you're a person who's against AI data centers, but yet you're promoting AI flyers and you're not utilizing your local marketers, social media people, or whatever, or you're not even utilizing like a Canva app to put your own spin on things, then you're a hypocrite. You're pretty much giving them the grounds they need to justify it. Well, everybody's using them. Like our usage for our AI flyers is like doubled, blah, blah, blah. It's just going to keep getting worse unless someone reins it in and is like, no, let's go back to actually making a flyer that fits our personality, like actually going and putting in the information that we think is pertinent and all of this stuff, okay? So, one, that's my biggest complaint, is this AI slop is justifying AI data centers. So if you don't want AI data centers, don't use AI for every little thing. AI should be a tool to help you fine-tune your thought process or get you in the direction that you want to go. But it should not be, oh, I'm going to use it for everything. I'm going to use it to do my emails. I'm going to use it to do my advertising. I'm going to use it to promote my flyers. Like, I'm not going to, that should not be what we're aspiring to if we're trying to prevent AI data centers. If we don't want to lose jobs to AI, we need to be using people in those lines of work to do the things that we're using AI to do, right? So that's one. Two, getting back into, they all look the same. They all have this weird kind of soft, fuzzy vibe. And again, dark or light or whatever, it doesn't matter the color scheme. It's an AI flyer because of the texture of the image you're looking at. There's no like realness to it. It looks soft and fuzzy and AI generated. Okay? I can't see branding in any of these. Like, I couldn't tell you anything about this business, what they're, trying to do. It's very weird to me. And so, like I said, I scrolled through and I found 18 different ones just in my own feed. Okay? So now when I say like all of the titles are kind of the same, right? Like they're all kind of the same vibe with like one main title. Like, look, like same layout. They're all kind of the same layout, the same tilted, right? But also, if you notice, out of these 18 different ones, there's not a lot of white space. There's not a lot of clarity. A lot of these, like this one is one that I really was like looking at, and it's like a dozen happy moves. So 12 families, lots of moving parts, and a whole lot of heart, guiding you from contract to keys with care, hustle, and attention to detail. So it's supposed to be a list of things to help you move, I'm assuming, but the tips are so small and so hard to read on the donuts. Like, what are these tips? I don't even know. Who is this person? What is the brand? Like, you can't even tell. It's so busy. Another one was like, okay, here's an open house one. There's no bedrooms, there's no size of the house, there's like no price on it. When is the open house? There's not even a date and a time. Okay? So weird that these flyers, and they're so busy, they're so heavy busy that you have to, like, what are we even looking at here? What is the point? What are we doing? So much information with so little focus on what are they trying to achieve. Like, this is you're invited to a customer appreciation party. When? There's no date, there's no time, there's no location, there's no like how to log in or whatever. It's just so funny to me. And again, they all have so much information, so busy with all the little clip art, the background, the graphics. It's overwhelming for the eyes to see. What are we trying to get out of this? Okay. This one again, like, what are we even looking at here? What is the point of this? Which one am I supposed to be reading to know what this is about? I don't know. I tried not to show any of the ones that had like people's pictures, but even that is like the same thing. Like, they're all set up the same way. And again, it all has the same, soft, fuzzy AI generated vibe, right? So that's one thing that I just wanted to say. You're making it so hard. Nobody can tell what the important part of your flyer is. There's so much information that I don't know if it's something I want to go to right off the bat, right? And we all know attention spans are short. So if you're not grabbing people's attention, how are they going to know they want to come to your event? 18 different ones. Let's see, where's another good one that I really liked? Yeah, just so many things. And it's like, who do I contact? Okay, I'm going to try to, I kind of don't want to include this name of this company because I love this company. But there's no contact information for this. How do you book? What's included? Like, I don't even know what I'm booking this party for. Who's, like, ages? Is there, like, what do I bring? It says book your event today. How do I book my event today? There's no contact information. There's no link, right? It's just busy. Same thing. Here's another one, like, book your party. Okay. What does it include? What do I have to bring? Who do I contact for it? It says book today. How? I don't know, because guess what? You didn't include it in your flyer. Again, so funny. So many things that are just, it's all the same vibe. So again, branding, whose brand is this? Who are you? I don't know. The lack of creativity. Canva, at least, if you're not going to hire like a graphic designer or social media or whatever, if you're not going to have somebody help you with a brand, at least Canva makes you sit and figure out what you're trying to get across, right? You have a chance to make it your own. You have a chance to include something that nobody else does or whatever. You have a chance to make it easy for people to understand and read. AI doesn't care about any of that. They're not taking into consideration white space or focus points or how people read things. They're not thinking about how this is going to show up in social media and how dark it's going to be or how, again, so much information, so many things with very little information about what it is. How do I connect to this? Usually it's like the very last line. Okay, if you're trying to do an event, the date, the time should be the biggest thing. It should not be the last little line on a flyer that's so busy I have to read 15 different things to get there. Okay, so that's one of the things that I have a problem with. The color, I said I wanted more color, and I do. But the way that they do their colors in this, it's like they pull from, like you say, I want a pink thing, and then the whole flyer is pink. The whole flyer is pink. It's got a pink background, it's got a pink border, it's got pink writing, it's got pink images. Everything's pink then, right? Pink, 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 pink. So again, your eyes are just smushing it all together. Okay? I just think it's weird that these companies, these brands, these local people that I know, these were like all off pages that I follow, people that I know personally. I can't tell you anything about why I should use them, why they're better, why this is a good idea. If you go to this business page, the one I just showed you for the pink, like every flyer is pink. Every flyer they do is pink. It's all pink, 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 pink. Let's see, what's another one? Pink, 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 pink. Okay, it's all pink. It's all pink. Is that really the brand? They're just a pink brand? Every event they do is pink. Pink, pink, pink. No variety ever. So if you're scrolling through their page, every flyer looks like it's promoting the same event because there's nothing to differentiate it. Why isn't the cowgirl one browns, teals, like country colors? Why is it pink? Why are spa parties all pink? Shouldn't they be like blues, greens? You know what I'm saying? Like colors that match what you're trying to promote. I will say the Niner one is red and gold. Kind of, sort of. Like there's a little bit of red and gold in it. So that's okay. The Happy Moves one. Like that one is one I really struggle with because I'm like, it's so busy. It's so busy. What is even like, okay, I do it all for you. But that's not even what it's supposed to be about, right? It's supposed to be about moving. So we've got contract, earnest money, open escrow, title, lender work. So it's everything that she does for you, which again is like every realtor ever. So why hire her? If she's so busy, she can't even put together a flyer for you. How busy is she going to be, when she's trying to help you? Like, are you going to get an AI response to your emails? Are you going to get an AI response to your inspection report? If she's using AI to promote her business, she's probably using AI for a lot of things. I would not trust that. Is she using AI to scan her contracts? Is she using AI to scan her inspection report? It just, to me, shows a lack of time and attention and detail. It shows a lack of thought, creativity. It shows a lack of time management, I guess. I don't even know, because what justifies that? Like, I don't have time to do this, so I'm just going to throw some things into AI, and it's going to give me a flyer, and I'm just going to post it. I'm not going to look at it and actually read it and be like, what is the important thing? Which, again, serving up a dozen happy moves. What does that mean? As a realtor, serving up a dozen happy moves. I know what she's trying to say, and I still don't know what she's trying to say. A dozen moves that she's doing for you behind the scenes? So she's telling you all the steps that you're going to have to take? Okay? It's so busy, and again, it's that weird, muted, soft coloring. Is her brand on there anywhere? I don't see a contact. Again, no contact information. Is her name Busy Chrissy? Is that her brand? Is that her name? I don't even know, because it's like literally, how do you contact her? There's no phone number. There's no email. There's no link to sign up here. And again, it's all things that like every basic realtor should be doing. So what does she do that's like above and beyond? Or what is she promoting that's different? I don't know. Because again, it's so hard to read, and then to like get to the things on the actual flyer itself. The important things are the smallest font on the busiest background. What is your goal here? Again, doing a giveaway, lots of words. Where's her contact information? It is literally the smallest little thing down here. So how do you enter? How do you enter? Where do you enter? When's the event? I just realized that. Like, it's for a giveaway, but it doesn't say how do you get there? Where's the information on the event? Is there a date? There's no date, there's no time. I'm so confused. Do you have to call her? Do you have to email her to do it? Again, the Wild at Heart. Okay, that's great. I get that that's your brand, I guess. And then when's the event? What is this even? Okay, so Wild at Heart, what is that? Apparently it is Park Lane Jewelry, which is like this tiny little thing right here. But if I was new to her, she's Wild at Heart. Okay, cool. Is it hair? Is it makeup? Is it her glasses? Is she like a motivational speaker? No date, no time. Nothing on it. I don't know. Okay. I don't even know where this one came from. So again, it's National BLT Month. Okay, cool. Not a bad flyer. I like the white space. It's got a giant BLT. Whose event? Who's doing it? I don't know. Yeah, it's just so funny to me. Again, okay, so this one, Black Swan Restoration. Again, I hate to call you guys out, but Spokane Strong, we're here for you. Okay, so Spokane Strong is the biggest thing. I mean, their logo's at the top, so at least they did, their scheme. And it says, we help restore what matters most. Okay, so restoration, we should assume, right, what it is. But 3/4 of the page is pretty much just like, oh, the recent fires have impacted so many of us, and we want you to know you don't have to face it alone. We're local, 24-hour response, compassionate care. And then there's like a quote. And then the actual services are at the bottom with the smallest writing, lost after all of this. So what do? Right? Okay, call us when you need us the most. Again, phone number at the very bottom. All right. It's, I already showed you guys this one. Okay, what are we doing here? There's so many things, so many pictures, so many people. It's so dark. Yeah, it just cracks me up. Again, so dark, so hard to read. We know the date, at least. It's Halloween, right? But where's it at? Like, where's it at? Where's it at? Okay. Where's the event at? How much is it? You know what I'm saying? It's like the smallest part of the flyer. You make it so hard, and they're all, again, the same kind of weird, soft color. It's so funny to me. They all just have the same vibe. Don't be those people. Don't be those people that don't want data centers taking over everything, but then use data or AI for everything, right? Like, somebody has to bring back actually taking the time to create something. The themes, the vibe, what are you actually trying to promote here? AI doesn't care. They don't care who your audience is. You're all getting the same formula. And I have seen now a few different podcasts and studies with people, and they're tracking that younger generations are automatically dismissing anything that's like AI. Like, oh, AI generated, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just, whatever. Is that even real? Because, like, is it a real event? Is it a real place? Is it a real brand? Is it a real service? Like, it's just AI. It's just AI generated, right? And we've all seen those, like, ads where they're AI generated. And because our youth are kind of now being trained to not trust AI, they're going to dismiss those things. It's just gross to me, okay? I really feel like, especially if you're a small business, if you are somebody like a realtor, or if you're trying to promote an event, you should be putting more thought and time into it. Or hiring out somebody that will. Let's encourage job growth, and not AI replacement. Let's encourage branding. This group for the cruise on Lake Coeur d'Alene, I know who the brand is, but again, not generally a bad flyer, because at least this one gives you the date and the time bigger, but no price for the tickets. You don't know if it costs any money, but who's putting it on? Like, I can see who's putting it on, but not in the flyer. So if she has a brand, if she's trying to build a following, like, there's nothing on the flyer that would tell me, oh, I know who this company is, or I want to go to that event because I know who that is, right? Can I afford to go to that event? Is it, is there an age limit? Is there it says cocktail, so you would assume 21 and up, but it's also a Lake Coeur d'Alene lake cruise, so that's usually all ages. It's not after hours, it's at 4:00. So can I bring my kids? It says cowgirls, right? Is there outfit? Is there a theme? Is there, it's just the information that I would want to know to go to an event, it's not being put on there because AI doesn't care. What is the point of it to go to this event? Is it really just for a good time? Is it a fundraiser? Is it part of something? I don't know. I don't know, because the flyer doesn't tell me anything about it. I want to see more originality. I want to see more creativity. Even if it's like an ugly flyer. Like, I have made some ugly flyers. I have made flyers that don't work, where I've gone back and been like, man, that was too dark. It was too busy. I could do this better next time, right? Taking into account, again, that people generally read left to right, top to bottom, why would you put the most important information on the bottom after all of this other thing? Why wouldn't you include who the brand is, or who the company is, or whatever? Don't use it. We have to take a stand somewhere if we don't want AI to be the end-all be-all. We have to stop using it for every little task. Part of being a business person and owner is putting in your own marketing and promoting yourself and building a brand. What's the brand of these if they're all the same color schemes? What's the vibe of this business if all I see is pink? I just feel like people are getting lazy and complacent, and they don't want to put thought into their own marketing. If they're not putting thought into their own marketing and they're a realtor, how much thought are they putting into the marketing of your listing? Like, everybody's using AI now to generate listing descriptions, and a lot of them sound like gibberish, or a lot of them are the same formula. Because AI is all the same. It's all the same. AI is AI across the board. Like, just because I log into AI doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to know me and promote me and push mine. It's like accumulating all of this information, and it's like, oh, well, 50 other realtors did this. We're going to push the same layout, the same format. All the flyers are going to be the same. In a land where we used to know slogans and jingles, and people would okay, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm, everybody gets like the same colors, you get the same image, you know what the brand logo is, right? Because they built that brand in all of their marketing, all of their spiels. And when brands change their marketing, Cracker Barrel, when they wanted to streamline it and change their brand and update and modernize, that messed people up. There was a riot, right? We don't want it looking like everything else. We want it to look like the brand that we know and love. So if you're a new business, if you're trying to promote yourself, if you're doing whatever, and your marketing and advertising is the same as everybody else, and you don't have your color, your logo, your whatever in those, you're going to get lost in the masses. You're going to look like every other AI slot flyer. And we all know, even those of you that are using it, as soon as you see one of those flyers come up, it's an AI generated flyer. Like, we all can tell. Why would you want to be known for that? Why would you want all of your flyers, if you were to go to someone's like Instagram page and all of their promotions looked exactly the same? You know they're not putting any thought into it. Where are they putting thought into it then? Where are they putting any kind of individuality, like their own stamp on things? I hate to keep saying the same words, but I don't know how else to really describe this. So I wanted to see if I were to go to this page real quick and just see. Yeah, that one's one. I mean, there's a good mix, I guess, of like some real photos and stuff. Um, but when you scroll through, you know, an Instagram page or whatever, and every picture on their Instagram is the same kind of flyer over and over again, you're desensitizing people. You're getting lost in the sea of AI. There is nothing that sets you out from anybody else. Events are not going to be as like, I'm not saying that you're not going to get people to your events, right? But how many more people could you get to your event if your flyer was cleaner, crisper? If it was like, obviously, like, that is a so-and-so's flyer. I want to know what this event is, right? Like, I know that brand. I know that color. I know that, you know, whatever. I want to go to that event. So I really want to call that out as such a, what do you call it? Like, the tip of the iceberg of what we're going to see. You know, why even do your own reels? Why even do that? Like, just have AI generate it, right? Are we going to get to that point where nobody's even just doing their own commercials anymore, their own promotions? Like, you know, if you're doing your own TikTok videos and you're trying to get the personability, your own, like, relatability out to people, you should be doing that across the board for all your marketing. Again, AI should be a tool. So if you have an event and you're like, God, I don't know how I want to promote this or whatever, like, putting that in, perfect example. I knew what I wanted to do for my daughter's graduation party, but I had to combine themes and colors with what I wanted and had with what somebody else wanted and had. And so I was like, okay, AI, how can I cohesively put these together? Like, colors, whatever. And it gave me a good idea of like, okay, well, this could be like a good base color, right? This fits into the tropical theme and the country theme and whatever. And then you could use things like this kind of leaf that would transfer, right, from like a tropical to a country vibe. And then I got to go forward with those ideas. It should be a tool. So, hey, I'm promoting a Cowgirls and Cocktails event. What's a good color scheme for that? Or whatever, right? Using it as a tool is one thing. It should not be the only tool you use. And we're going to start seeing, we're already seeing job loss. We're already seeing, you know, programs, Adobe Photoshop and all of these things that used to be so cool, and you used to have a skill set to use these. You'd have to like actually have some knowledge. You'd actually have to put some time into it. That's all getting erased with these AI things. Our kids coming into this with AI being up and coming, are you going to be okay if they have an art project or a history project and they just type a little, you know, what do you call it? Type a little parameter into AI and it starts generating their homework? If you're showing them that it's okay to build your business on, then I guess you should be okay with kids using it to do their art projects, to do their class projects, to write their papers for them. It was my thoughts. It was my ideas. I just had AI write it up for me. Slippery slope, people. Okay? And it went from like maybe one flyer a day that I would see that was AI to those 18 were just in the last 2 days. And that is just the ones that I scrolled through quickly to put together a few. I mean, I could have done so many more. Inundation, overuse, and it requires no thought. There's no thought to this. There's no brain power. There's no skills. You're dumbing down yourself. What a disservice to yourself that you can't take 15 minutes in Canva to whip up a flyer. You know what I'm saying? And why don't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to put together your own flyer to promote your own event? Because you're lazy? Because you're so busy that you don't have time to make a flyer? The message that we're sending, the environment we're creating is gross. And then we wonder why they're pushing for these AI data centers. Why they're telling us, well, people are using so much more AI now. Yeah. Them. You know what I'm saying? Like, look yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm using this AI flyer. I just generated in 1 week. I made 6 AI flyers. And what did you gain with that time, that free time? Are you really telling me it opened up so much more time in your life that it's worth a 60,000 square foot building, whatever it is? I mean, that's not even like touching it, right? How big these AI centers are going to be. Because if you're doing it and you think it's okay, and you can see 6 other local businesses doing the same thing, multiply that across the city, multiply that across the state, multiply that across the thing, right? So you can be like, oh, it's just one little flyer for me, but then I did it for every event this month. It compounds, it builds. That is why they're saying that we should get to do this. And it's also, again, diminishing any kind of individuality. And we're going to start rejecting it automatically. Like, nobody's even going to start reading them because we're going to be so tired of seeing the same AI slop, the same AI flyers, the same generated crap, that it's going to have to shift the other way. So I really feel like you should kind of be ashamed of yourself because there's no need for it. Nobody is so busy and so overwhelmed that they can't take 15 minutes to make a flyer to promote their own event that's going to make them money, build their brand, increase their visibility. Because all you're telling people is, AI did it. AI did it. AI did it. So what are you doing? Who are you in your business? Who are you as a brand, as a person that's supposedly putting their personal touch out there? That's my 2 cents on that. It's a gross, self-fulfilling, vicious circle where we're going to lose any kind of art department. We're going to lose, again, what's the point of teaching any kind of skill in art if you can just type it into AI? And I know we all make fun of arts degrees and stuff, but if you're using that art degree to teach in a museum or to go into social media marketing or to go into advertising, which those are all legit jobs. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Frost Yourselves is like every girl in my generation knows that ad campaign. How sad and gross if Matthew McConaughey had just typed in good jewelry slogans, how to sell diamonds, and got some AI generated thing. How stupid would that movie have been without that creativity, the brainstorming, the using real life conversation to build a brand, a marketing campaign that worked, that captured women's hearts, their imagination. You know what I'm saying? AI slop is not the same. The Coca-Cola Bears. Is AI going to come up with that? How is that even related? And yet we all correlate it to Christmas and Coca-Cola. Where are the polar bears? Where are our polar bears? We want our Coca-Cola polar bears. Stuffed animals, t-shirts, knickknacks, all came from that. You're not getting that from AI flyers and AI marketing and AI advertising. Like, are they really creating some special, unique, out of the box thinking? They're not. And if we want those things to stay, for our kids to get to experience that, Jake from State Farm. I don't know why I keep going back to State Farm. It is my insurance and I do love it. Go Emily. But there's a reason why that is such a, like, he is an icon now because of this commercial. And if it was just an AI generated cartoon, it would not have had the same effect. We're getting rid of like era type defining brand logo, all of this stuff. It's gross. It's gross is my point. Okay. I don't know how else to say it, but again, if you're going to be against data centers and you're going to be someone that's pushing these AI slot flyers, like, boo, wrong, try again. Okay. It might work for a minute. It might work right now, but ask yourself, if you go through your feed and everything is the same AI flyer with so much information, so many busy characters, so much background, or it's all like one uniform color, it's not gonna grab your attention. We're all gonna start just learning to scroll past it. So think about that. Let's bring back actually having to brainstorm, actually having to put down some brain power, actually having to create things with our own brains, with our own thought processes, trial and error. Like, you can have templates. I'm not saying like a template's a bad idea where you just put in your stuff every time, but at least that creates some cohesiveness with your marketing. A newsletter in the same layout, the same form, the Hub's newsletter, right? It's all the same. It's always the same. You know where to look for certain things. You know how to check for the dates. So as someone is a fan, right, you can instantly open up the newsletter and be like, I know it's going to tell me this specific thing. And it looks the same every month. It's still the Hub. Its branding is the same, right? It's the Hub colors. You know what you're going to get. And it's the Hub. It's the Hub every time. Could you imagine if the Hub just like typed up a thing and AI generated it and then it came across your feed and it was like all yellow? You're like, this is the Hub? This is the Hub? The Hub's red, black, and white. That's the Hub colors, right? Anyway, that's probably more of me lamenting than I probably should. But let's stop. Our kids are getting dumber. Our attention spans are getting smaller. Our job markets are getting tighter. And it's because of stupid little things like this escalating on a big scale. So somebody has to do something different. There has to be a shift away from that, or it's going to get worse. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and it has exploded in the last month. The last week. Every ad, like almost everybody that has had an ad or an event or something is using this. That is a problem. And we need to nip it in the bud, and we need to actually encourage creative thought processes, trial and error, building a brand, building a following. AI is not going to generate that for you. It's not creating the personal why. Why should I do business with you over this person? It's lacking that because we all know it's AI. There's nothing of you in there. You gave it the words and it built it for you. Anybody else could have done that too. So, come on, people. Let's bring back actual design and concepts and creative thought processes. This is not the way to go. It may be fine right now, but we've already seen the decline of education because everybody went digital. All of our kids are doing schoolwork. We joke about how we could like dismantle the whole younger generation if we did everything in cursive and a stick, right? Like a manual. That's not funny. That our kids cannot read cursive. It's not funny. It's not a joke anymore when colleges like Michigan State aren't going to do grades their freshman year because kids are failing because they can't do basic freshman year college stuff. This is all part and parcel of it. We want our kids using their brains and their hands and, getting engaged with stuff. The generations are getting dumber. They're getting lazier. And all of these people are encouraging that by perpetuating it. So when you start to see it show up in schoolwork, in life, you can't be mad. You can't be mad about it. You should be ashamed that you are part of the problem. Because again, I do think this is a piece of the bigger problem. That we're just too lazy, too tired, too whatever to actually put some thought into something. And then we wonder why, kids are not motivated to do anything. They have no desire to do anything. They have no interest in anything outside of laptops or whatever, because everything is online. Everything's AI. Everything's computer generated. What are these, art classes are going to get smaller, right? Nobody's writing anything anymore. These kids aren't going to know how to do anything. Idiocracy, right? If it's not a simple picture, they're not going to understand it. They're not going to know what it means. They're not going to be able to learn. I just need you to understand that this is the beginning of the end. We're in it right now. Right now, colleges are not, they're doing pass-fail, or they're not doing grades. Because they don't want to stress their kids out and hold them accountable, because they're not smart enough to do what they need to do when they get to college. Because kids don't know how to sign their names. Nobody's teaching them how to sign their name. Nobody knows, signatures. Addressing envelopes. Just because we use email doesn't mean that we shouldn't still be knowing, we should still know how to address an envelope. Again, it's just part and parcel. When you rely on AI for everything, even the small little things that shouldn't be that taxing, it's a snowball effect. So you should be ashamed of yourselves. Bring back your own branding, bring back your own style, bring back your vibe, and don't get lost in the AI slop. That's all I got. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I appreciate y'all sticking around. Have a great day.